So if you struggle to lead things towards bedroom with women, there's a very high chance you're making one of the 3 verbal mistakes that completely destroy guys' dates and their chances to sleep with a girl. You see, there are certain phrases that the guys use that create massive resistance with women, and I see guys using these phrases all the time, and most men have no idea how much damage they're doing. So in this video, I'm gonna break down exactly what those phrases are, why they don't work, and what you should say instead so you can actually lead things towards the bedroom in a smooth way and have nice sex. Everyone wants to have nice sex, right? So let's start with the first one, over-the-top compliments. This is you saying to the girl, "You're so beautiful, you're so gorgeous, you're so stylish." You can swap the adjective, but the structure is always the same. When you do that, it literally makes you look like a hungry dog with his mouth salivating at the sight of a beautiful woman. Because when you put her on that pedestal, you're basically saying that you are below her level, and a girl doesn't want to sleep with guys below her level. So what you want to do instead is, first of all, completely shift your attention away from her looks and onto her personality. And second, and this is key, if you really want to give her a compliment, you want to keep the compliment tentative, not absolute. So here's what I mean. So instead of saying to the girl, "You're so beautiful," you would say something like, "You seem cool." Now that might not sound like a big difference, but it actually is, and it works for a few reasons. One is you're not complimenting on her looks, you're complimenting on her personality. So you signal that you've noticed something beyond her looks and you're not just like a horny dog that only sees one thing. And number two is you're not declaring it as a fact. You're just stating an assumption. You seem cool, not like you are cool. So you're saying, "I'm actually here to find out if you're cool." And now she has to live up to those expectations. The next big mistake guys make on dates that make women not want to sleep with them is asking girl, "Can I kiss you?" Now this is bad. A lot of guys think that, well, I'm just being a gentleman. I'm finding out if a lady wants to kiss me. While in reality, women don't want to be asked if you can kiss them. They just want to be kissed. Now let me be very clear. That doesn't mean forcing anything or ignoring consent. It's actually the opposite. The reason that you ask, "Can I kiss you?" is because you've been too afraid to escalate the entire date. So you haven't flirted properly, you haven't made any small physical moves towards the girl. So eventually you reach the stage where they're like, "Okay, well, I guess this is the moment that I should kiss her," but you're too afraid. So instead of leading, you just dump this decision on her. And what that really communicates is A, you're not sure of yourself, and also B, is that you're afraid to make a real move. So you have to ask her for permission to do something you should have made it happen naturally. And that's not attractive for girls. A kiss shouldn't feel like this one big dramatic event. It should just be like the obvious next step. So instead, what you want to do is you want to get small buy-ins throughout the date. You touch her arm lightly and see how she reacts. If she's comfortable, you can hold her hand. If that feels good, you lean in closer when you're talking. Maybe you whisper something in her ear. And each step leads closer and closer towards the kiss. And if she enjoys it, she's comfortable, you're getting consent without making things verbal. And by the time you go for the kiss, it's already obvious. At that point, you don't ask, "Can I kiss you?" You just say something like, "Come here." She leans in, and then you just go for the kiss. That's much smoother, much more confident move from your perspective, and far, far more enjoyable for the girl. Because look, in her mind, the girl is thinking, if this guy, he can't even kiss me, can he fuck me properly? If we go to the bedroom, will he ask me for instructions? Think about that. And finally, the last big mistake that sabotages guys' dates and kills all your chances to sleep with a girl is when you say, "Do you want to go back to my place?" This is really bad. When you say that, you're basically telegraphing sex. It's almost as asking a girl directly, "Do you want to sleep with me right now?" As a matter of fact, it's pretty much the same thing. And if asking for a kiss was bad, asking for sex is much, much worse. Because basically you're forcing an early decision. She doesn't know where your place is. She doesn't know how she'll feel in the moment of being in a bedroom with you. There's a lot of unknowns in the moment. So even if she was open to the idea of sleeping with you during the date, unless she was 100% certain, which most girls are not, now she'll avoid the risk and just say no. So rather, move things forward in a more natural way. Get a series of mini decisions in your favor, not like this one big decision she has to make. Now, a great way to do this is called seeding, which just means planting a seed of thought earlier in a date in girl's mind that will naturally lead things to your place. So for example, let's say that earlier in a date, you talked about music. You mentioned that you have this song that you really like, and she said that she didn't know the song. Later on, as you're leaving the bar, you can say, come on, I want to show you that song we talked about on my computer. Notice how different that feels. You're not asking for permission. You're also not making this big deal. You're not even mentioning sex. And because you're not making this big deal, she's much less likely to make it a big deal, so she doesn't have this massive pressure right now. Look, the girl is not stupid. She understands where things might go, and if you go to a guy's place, then things can of course happen. But now it's different, because now you've given her plausible deniability, and you just add to this "it just happened" narrative. And it's good because she doesn't have to decide now if she wants to have sex. It's much more likely a girl agrees to have sex with you when she's in a bed with you and you're making out, rather than you're out there in a cold street. So don't telegraph sex and don't force girls to make an early decision. Lead things forward step by step, never make it seem like you're expecting something, and it's gonna be much more likely she comes to your place and both of you can have nice, fun sex. Who doesn't want that? And finally, if you want to start getting more dates with the first place with attractive women, where you have the chance to lead things towards the bedroom without online dating apps, you can watch this video where I show you exactly how to do this step by step. It shows you how to go out in your own city, talk to women in real life, and start getting dates with amazing women. Go check it out and I'll see you there.